Hello, good evening to one and all. In this session, we are going to learn about how can we establish the database connection with Django, especially MySQL. So we quickly move on to our session. So Django supports 5 types of databases, especially MySQL, Oracle, SQLite, MariaDB, and PostgreSQL. Whenever we are going to install Django, the default database is SQLite. If at all we are going to make a connection with any other specific database like MySQL or Oracle, it requires certain changes in settings.py file. Now, Django opens a connection to the database where it first makes a database query and keeps this connection open and reuses in its subsequent requests. So every time we are not going to send each request, it will directly opens the connection and will accept any type of models. Once we create the database connection with Django, we can create models in Django. So models are nothing but creating the database tables in Django. So while providing the setting.py file, we are going to make a default setting called SQL mode to strict to trans tables, which means our MySQL should behave like a traditional SQL database. It is same for Oracle database or PostgreSQL also. So I quickly open my notebook. Yeah, so here this is my project and this is my application. So in my project I am going to open settings.py file. So in settings.py file, defaultly Django comes with an engine called django.db.backends.sqlite 3. It is a default database. Now we are going to connect with MySQL database. We are going to make certain changes. The parameters are engine, name, username, password, host, and port number, and finally the options. So both name and user and as well as password will differ from one system to another system. Name is nothing but my database name. So I will open my SQL workbench. So this is my SQL workbench. So if at all you are going to create a new connection, you are going to select plus option. So it will set up a new connection. So while creating the new connection only, it will directly give the host name, port number, and as well as username also. So I already created my connection. So I will just open my connection. Yeah, my connection was opened. Now I am going to create a database. So let me type create database, name it as KBN. So I will just run it, control enter. Yeah, you can clearly see that the database is created. Now I am going to use this database, use KBN. I will just run it. Yes, the KBN database now is active. Now I will select show tables. So in my database, I am going to verify whether any tables are present. So here no tables are present. Now we are going to make a connection from Django to this database KBN. So I will open that settings.py file and rename the name as KBN. The username is root only. I have not going to set any type of password, so that's why the password field is empty. The host name is localhost, or you can specify the complete port number, that is 127.0.0.1, and the port number, default port number for MySQL is 3306. Now after this setting, we are going to perform another setting in cache option, that is defaultly Django comes with a default location as well as backend. For our MySQL, we are going to mention Django underscore MySQL dot cache dot MySQL cache. So we are going to install this by using pip command. So location, I am going to mention my database name only, that is KBN. So once these type of settings are completed, now I will open my command prompt. So in my command prompt, first I am going to install MySQL client. I will press enter. Yeah, I already installed, that's why the requirement was satisfied. Now I am going to install the cache name, that is MySQL cache. Yeah, I will press enter. Yeah, actually the version was satisfied, so we are not going to find any type of matching distribution for this. Now I am going to use Python space manage.py space make migrations. So clearly I'm going to make a migrations, and you can clearly specify that my database name and as well as my port number and as well as my username also has been displayed. Now I'm going to use python manage.py space run server. Yeah, so server is also started. Yeah, now I will make a migration. Python So you can clearly the migration was started and the database connection is going to be established. So it will take time. Yeah, it will directly authenticate the database from Django using settings.py file and as well as cache option. And once the migration was completed, we are going to refresh the SQL workbench so that we can get the tables from Django. Yes, the database connection was established. Now we will verify. So I'm just refresh it, and you can clearly see that in a KVM database, the tables option consists of number of tables which was given by Django. The same we can also see here also. I will just run it. So you can see the number of tables which is provided by Django. So in this way, we can establish the connection from Django to MySQL. And once the connection is established, we are going to create the models. So the models can be created using in models.py file, and the model is nothing but by representing a class in Django. And using a model, we can create the tables in the database and we can provide the values for the table. So in this way, the database connection is going to be established in Django. Thank you.